Hello children, today we are going to learn about the lesson reproduction and modification in plants. Reproduction and modification in plants. So already you have learnt in your lower classes the parts of the plants. So what are the parts of the plants? So you have studied that is parts of the plants includes that is stem, leaf, then leaves, root, flower, seeds, fruits, so everything. So here that is the leaves, stem and root. These parts forms the vegetative part of the plant, and the flowers, fruits and the seeds forms the reproductive part of the plant. So we have many parts of the plant, that is the leaves, stem, root, flower, fruits and seeds. So leaves, stem and root forms the vegetative part of the plant, and the flower, fruit and the seeds forms the reproductive part of the plant. So in this lesson we are going to study that is how the fruit is being formed from the flower and the modifications of the stem, root and the leaves. So first we have to know that is what is reproduction. So reproduction is the process of producing the young ones. Producing the young ones. So by producing the young ones, so one can increase the population. So this happens both in plants and also in the animals. This happens in plants and also in animals. So plants also reproduce and animals also reproduces to increase their population. So and here we are going to study about that is reproduction types. So reproduction is divided into two as sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Okay, so you have seen that is the plants produced from seeds and also from the stem cuttings. For example, so you have the drumstick, sapota. So many plants they reproduces by means of seeds and also by means of stem cuttings. The seeds which are produced by means of pollination and fertilization, by means of pollination and fertilizations is called sexual reproduction. So usually this sexual reproduction they involve the gametic formation, that is fusion of male and female gamete, male and the female gamete, and those organisms which are not involved in the pollination and fertilization are said to be undergoing asexual reproduction. So let's see that is the sexual reproduction in detail. So before going into the knowing about the sexual reproduction, so we have to learn about the parts of the flower. Parts of the flower. So we are going to learn about the reproduction in plants. So we are going to first learn about what are the parts of the flower. So you have the four main parts of the flower. So calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. So calyx is also called sepals. Calyx is also called sepals, and this is the green part of the flower. So already you would have seen a flower. So this is the green part of the flower, and this is the calyx, green part of the flower. And corolla is also called petals, and this is the colorful and large part of the flower. Large part of the flower. So usually by attracting by this corolla, most probably they will be helpful. They are attracted by they attract the insect, and then the insects helps in the pollination. So third one is the androecium. So androecium is the male reproductive part of the flower. Male reproductive part of the flower, and this contains, that is a long, slender, filament-like filament and a lobed structure, so which is called the anther. This is corolla. So here you have the filament and the anther. Okay. So next, gynoecium. Gynoecium is the female reproductive part of the flower. So gynoecium, this includes the basal swollen part, so and a long slender tube. So this basal swollen part is called the ovary, and the long slender tube is called the style, and this style extends to form a sticky tip, so which is called the stigma. So male reproductive, that is androecium. Here the filament and anther forms the androecium, and female reproductive part, that is the gynoecium. So gynoecium is divided into three, that is the ovary, style and stigma. So inside the ovary you have the ovules. Inside the ovary you have the ovules. So what are the parts of the flower? So parts of the flower is divided into four types, that is four parts, namely calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. So calyx is also called sepals, and this is the green part of the flower. Next, corolla is also called the petals, and this is the colorful part of the flower, and usually this attracts the insects and also helps in the pollination. Next comes the third word, that is the androecium. Androecium, that is the male reproductive part of the flower. So it contains, that is the filament, the long slender filament and the lobed structure called the anther, and gynoecium is the female reproductive part of the flower. So it contains three main parts, namely that is the ovary, style and the stigma. So it has the base swollen part, so which is called the ovary. So inside the ovary you have the ovules. So the ovary extends to form a long slender tube, so which is called the style, and this style extends to form a sticky tip, so which is called the stigma. So now let's learn about the types of the flowers. learn about the types of flowers. So already you have studied the parts of the flower, that is calyx, corolla, anthidium and gynoecium. So these are the four whorls of the flower. Four whorls of the flower. That is calyx, corolla, anthidium and gynoecium. So if the flower contains all the four parts or the four whorls, then it is said to be complete flower. Then it is said to be a complete flower. If any one of the whorl is missing, then it is said to be any whorl is missing, then it is said to be incomplete flower. So here also you have, that is incomplete flower, you have the male flower and the female flower. So usually the complete flower will be bisexual in nature. The complete flower will be bisexual, that is both male and the female reproductive part will be present in the same flower. In incomplete flower, so only one part will be present, that is either they will be called as the unisexual. This will be possible in unisexual flowers. So either, that is, there will be only the anthidium will be present or the gynoecium will be present. Either anthidium or either the gynoecium will be present. If anthidium is present and gynoecium is absent, then it is said to be male flower. And if gynoecium is present and anthidium is absent, then it is said to be the female flower. And these flowers are also called as the unisexual flowers. Unisexual flowers. So types of flowers. So you have the complete flower and the incomplete flower. So when it is said to be the complete flower, if all the four whorls of the flower is there, so then it is said to be the complete flower. So usually this is possible in bisexual flowers. So bisexual flowers means that is both the male reproductive part and the female reproductive part, that's anthidium and gynoecium, will be present in the same flower. And any whorl is missing, then it is said to be incomplete flower. So either anthidium is missing or gynoecium is missing, then it is said to be a incomplete flower. So usually this is possible in unisexual plants. Male flower, so when it is said to be a male flower, if anthidium is present and the gynoecium is absent, then it is said to be a male flower. And when gynoecium is present and the anthidium is absent, then it is said to be the female flower. So these flowers are called as the unisexual flowers. So let's move on to pollination. So what is meant by pollination? So you have learned, so what is anthidium and what is gynoecium. So next step is pollination. So pollination is the first step for reproduction. It is the first step for reproduction. So this pollination is followed by the fertilization. So how this pollination takes place? So what is pollination? We are going to learn. Pollination, transfer of pollen grain. Transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma is called pollination. So what is pollination? Transfer of pollen grain. So here you have the androecium. Okay, the filament and the anther. So all the pollen grains, are embedded in it. So here you have the okay, ovary, style, stigma, ovules. So the pollen grains from here. So this is a single enlargement of the single pollen grains. So pollen grain, that is the transfer of from where? Transfer of pollen grain from where? From the anther. Transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma. Transfer of pollen grains, so from where? From the anther to the stigma is called what? Pollination. It's called pollination. So next we are going to learn about the that is the methods of pollination. Methods of pollination. Pollination methods. So there are two types, that is natural pollination and artificial pollination. So first, what is pollination? Transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma is called pollination. So this occurs by, that is takes place by means of two methods, that is one is natural method, so usually by means of wind or by means of that is naturally or by means of natural method. So these pollen grains are transferred from anther to the stigma. But in artificial methods, so either this pollination, where there is pollination is not possible, so this is made by means of artificial means. So how they are doing this artificial methods? So usually they will be collecting the male flowers, and so for example they are taking 3 male flowers and female flowers, they are taking 6 female flowers. So usually they will be in the plants. So here they will be collecting the pollen grains, that is the pollen grain. They will be tapping and collecting the powder like pollen grains from the male flower, and here before the bud gets opened, so these flowers, that is the buds, will be covered with the plastic bags. So after that the collected pollen grains will be dusted in the stigma of these female flowers. The pollen grains will be dusted in the stigma of the female flowers. That is, for example, they will be dusted with 3 female flowers, and here so you can see so which is being formed into a fruit and which is not formed into a fruit. So here, when this being pollinated, when the female flowers are pollinated with pollen grains, so usually this should be left for few days. So fusion of the male gamete and the female gamete takes place. So after that zygote is formed. So this zygote, so this is called, that is the fusion of the male and the female gamete is called fertilization. It is called fertilization. So after fertilization zygote forms. So zygote undergoes that is develop into an embryo, and finally it will be developing into a fruit. But here these 3 flowers, so which is not that is dusted with the pollen grains, they start to wither, and with this dusted with the pollen grains they start to form into a fruit. So this shows that the fertilization has taken place in the flower, and this method of artificial pollination will be done like this.